Alright boys and girls, how you doing today? For this lesson, I'm going to show you how to prove that two functions are inverses of one another. To do that, we are going to need to show three things. And here are the steps right here. The first thing is that you're going to show that f of g of x equals x. The second thing is going to be to show that g of f of x equals x. And then the last thing is to write a sentence that justifies our conclusion. So these will be the three steps in every single one of these types of problems. Now here's going to be the basic setup for each one of these types of problems. You'll be asked to prove that f of x and g of x are inverses of each other. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take g of x. So g of x is going to be this function up here, this 1/2 x plus 5, 1/2 times the quantity x plus 5, that function. And to start with, we're going to plug that in to our f of x function. And then our second step is going to be to take the f of x function and plug that one into the g of x function. And then depending on our results from that, we'll go ahead and write a conclusion. So let's take a look at our first step. So when we plug in g of x, just take your time, make sure you do your algebra correctly when you make that substitution, and pay attention to parentheses, because that's where a lot of people will go wrong. Now notice, after we make that substitution, one of the things that I'm going to do real quickly here is I'm going to cancel out this 2 and the 1/2, because 2 times 1/2 is just 1. When we do that, we're left with f of g of x equals just x plus 5 and then minus 5. But wait. If we take a look again, we can cross out this plus 5 along with a minus 5, because 5 minus 5 gives us 0. And so then when we're all done, we've just shown that f of g of x equals x. So that's the very first thing. So that part held. So now we're going to go on to our second step, where we show that g of f of x equals x. Now this will start out in the same fashion, just making a simple substitution. We're going to take f of x, and anywhere there's an x in the g of x function, we're going to make that substitution. Now this is where I always caution students, be super careful about parentheses, because when we substitute into 2x minus 5, put all of that in parentheses, and then you'll kind of see some things here that go on. Now as we take a look at our first line here, when we take a look at that, check it out. I'm going to have minus 5 right there, and this plus 5. The two of them are going to cancel out, leaving me with g of f of x equals 1/2 of just 2x. But then again, what's 1/2 times 2x? We'd be left with g of f of x just equals x. So we've shown that f of g of x equals x, and we've shown that g of f of x equals x. So now, on to our third and final step, writing our conclusion. We would simply write, since f of g of x equals g of f of x equals x, f of x and g of x are inverse functions. That's it. These problems will be very straightforward for you as long as you follow those three steps that we outlined earlier. Show that f of g of x equals x, show that g of f of x equals x, and write a sentence that justifies your conclusion. So hopefully by watching this video, you now know how to prove that two functions are inverses of each other. Thanks for watching, and you guys have a great day. Peace out.